I've just returned from Sweden, and really, it's a story of two halves. There's plenty of picture perfect Stockholm for the tourists. I saw loads of that. But there's quite a different place to be found in the suburbs, like Rinkeby, where I spent some time. A worried Eritrean lady even grabbed me off the bus to say, look, you're in the wrong place. It turns out around 200,000 immigrants have arrived in Sweden in the last few years. They're quite liberal with their borders. There's 55 no-go zones where emergency services need a police escort to go out. The ambulance crews there have even asked for riot gears to work with from the ambulances, and locals now fear to go out alone. I met with Joseph. He's a Middle Eastern immigrant who's been in Sweden for years, and he's seen these changes happen.
When there's new coming now, they don't want to integrate with the European as we made. When we came, we was small group. When I was in school, we was maybe in my class we was 4 or 5 foreigner from immigrate, and the rest was Swedish. So we could not make problems.
Yeah, a group.
Because then everyone will see that we are bad. So we was making as the other make. But now they keep all the foreigner coming in one place.
In one place, exactly
like
what I was going to say.
Like in my school, now you go to the school, you see 5, 6 Swedish and the rest immigrate.
In a country seen as the pinnacle of equality for women, I've always thought of Sweden as this kind of super equal place. It has 2 years paid maternity leave. There's now places in the migrant suburbs where women are frightened to go out at night. I met with one of them. She's 27 years old. We'll call her Lucy here. And she showed me around. She told me what it's like for her just to try and get home from work.
Before it was like I was a bit nervous when it was dark out, but now it's even in daylight I can feel a bit nervous because it's a lot of weird groups of men just hanging around, and we're actually going to pass like a bridge, and under the bridge there's a group of men just standing around drinking alcohol all day, and I have to walk over them and they could just run up. I used to work in a hotel here in Kista. It's actually just outside of here called the Hub Hotel.
Right.
And when I worked there, I ended my shifts at approximately, I think it was 10:30 in the evening. And twice I had to run home because I was followed by 2 groups of guys.
Groups of guys?
Yeah, about 7 or 8 of them.
About 90% of the populations of Rinkeby are immigrants. Sweden's system means they can't work while their asylum applications are processed, and then they get used to not working. And some say if you put Rinkeby on your application for a job, you don't even stand a chance because these places are known as sink pits of crime and drugs. It is a problem no one is talking about, except this one guy, Police Chief Peter Springer, who's decided finally to speak out. You can hear my translator Ulf helping me to understand.
Nej, och kommer inte att bli kriminella.
There's a small part.
Förhållandevis små.
Yes, so not all immigrants are criminals, but when you look at the criminality,
då är
most of them
de är kraftigt överrepresenterade.
They're highly overrepresented.
Yeah, overrepresented.
Och de står också för en
And they stand for a criminality that is
som inte vi riktigt är vana med.
that the Swedish police isn't used to investigate.
Ja, och det i sin tur gör ju att
And that means that the Swedish police can't handle it in the right
And
way.
the criminality that the Swedish police aren't used to investigating is
throwing hand grenades on the street, shooting in the automatic weapon on the parking lots, and you murder in the sideway in the street.
Yeah, just not
in the bright daylight.
In the day.
It's a type of crime that we don't are used to.
I rushed to the scene of a hand grenade planted in a bin outside of a police station, and on the other side of the road there was a mosque. And I was just talking about the fact that there was a mosque and a police station, and a local reporter of one of the second biggest newspapers in Sweden said, he wanted to know why I had to politicise this kind of thing. He said to me, why can't it just be a hand grenade in a bin? And I remember looking at him thinking, which one of us here is mad? It's 21st century Sweden, and you want me to say it's just a hand grenade in a bin. But then on the opposite side of that, a stranger came up to me in a cafe, a lady, and she pleaded with me to keep speaking out.
It is extremely political. We do have political leaders who are very aware of the problem, but there is a political correctness. There is also, I think, a much deeper perspective on this in Sweden, and that is that we live in a perfect society. We have a dream of utopia. And I think that means really that we don't want reality to be as nasty as it is.
She believes the silence is political, politicians wanting Sweden to be seen as perfect. So I went to meet with Mattias Karlsson, the leader of the Swedish Democrats, currently leading in the polls. He believes the way immigration is managed needs to be looked at.
We have to tighten up on immigration. We have to strengthen the police, more policemen, more patrolling police. We have to have tougher laws. As you mentioned, if someone who's not a citizen commits serious crimes here, they should be expelled. That's not the case today. And the police should have more resources as well, not just more policemen. They need better equipment. They need to be able to enforce the law in a broader sense than they are today. They are very much restricted. But then we have to start building a spirit of citizenship, of national identity again, to strengthen the community and to have strengthen the foundation of the Western values.
All these very different people seem to share a single message, which was that Sweden cannot begin to solve its problems until it starts talking about them. You know, I'd ask the politicians to step away from the pretty bits, which look like the Sweden you and I would imagine, and spend time with the men and women in the dirty places in between, in the suburbs, the places I went. Places I spent time pretending to be brave, where I was told white women are worthless, where first responders are under attack and the streets are run by gangs who do not fear the law but laugh in its face.